Welcome to the Uncle Jimmy and Cousin Donnie show, episode number 67. Cousin Donnie, we have
Hello.
not been around in the last week. We've been busy, my man. Tell me about Cousin Donnie. How's he doing?
Cousin Donnie's good. The fall is busy during the week. I play in a couple different fall leagues with some guys I don't get to play with during the year, which is fun. But it takes up a lot of time. But it's only like a month, and then it's over. I feel like fall ball ends quick. So
Right.
We're gonna get back on the train of doing shows. Every Tuesday of the week going forward, which is a pretty cool announcement that we can make. Tuesdays are good. But yeah, I'm good, man. I'm focusing on the health a little bit this off season, trying to work out a little bit more on diet and do all that cool stuff. So hopefully it works and I could play outfield next year for Signature.
Oh, is that what I hear? You're going to go to the outfield, huh?
I'm going to center field. Yeah, that's my goal.
Is that why they told Drew from Moneyline?
Correct.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You in center.
Okay, yeah, he's elsewhere now. Yeah, I've already earned the spot. But yeah, things are good, man. I had the pleasure of seeing you today at your establishment at Papa Magoo's. We had. Are we still there?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Oh boy.
Did I lose you, Cousin Donnie? Donnie, can you hear me? Oh. So, guys, right out of the gate, we have a little technical difficulties. Cousin Donnie obviously was telling us about his day and unfortunately had a disconnected due to either someone calling him or due to his Wi-Fi. But just want to quickly say, thank you guys for supporting the show. Tonight is episode, I believe, number 67. So we will be live Tuesday night at 9:30. So we will be doing that. Our guest on Tuesday is going to be our boy Keenan Connolly. So, Donnie, I know we lost you there for a minute, but you were talking about the lovely chicken Caesar wrap you had at Papa Goose.
I did. It was great. I enjoyed your company today. Everyone on the staff is real kind. I had a grilled chicken wrap. It was wonderful. Jackson, who played for Hex this year, is whipping it up. On the resume at Papa Magoo's, it says plays for Hex. Automatically, you get a job. you got Jackson. You got Al Rice, Richie Battistoni. Anyone that plays, all you have to put on the resume. Al Rice played for Hex. Head chef.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great. It's a good culture over there. But yeah, it was a good time. I appreciated seeing you. But sorry about that. I just got a phone call I had to decline quick. So we're back. How's Uncle Jimmy been these last, couple days, weeks without seeing everybody?
Yeah, no, it's been a hell of a week, man. Our boy Drew Leddick just hopped on the show. Welcome, Drew. Yeah, no, it's been, just a busy week between some events and things I had to do for my job, and then also what's going on at the bar at night and things like that. And softball. I played softball Wednesday night, Thursday night. As you know, we're in the Berwyn League. We're also in the Oak Lawn League. Our boy Fafo, throw a little fist pump out to my boys. We won the championship last night in Oak Lawn, beating Stink. We also played a really good game against the Bullies, or the Coons, I believe they call themselves in that league. a lot of those guys are supporters of our show, Donnie.
I love it.
So,
Good. Yeah, you got to have support, man. I get it all the time. People were messaging me like crazy. When's the next show? When are we going to get to see Uncle Jimmy, Cousin Donnie again? Where are you guys? And I said, you might never see one again. I was just telling people lots.
Well, we wanted to get on tonight because we wanted to share some updates. I want to share something that's going to happen and take place in December, right? But also want to talk a little bit about Rumor Mill, and then want to kind of guide everyone and lead everyone up till Tuesday night, and hopefully what our plan is with our guest on Tuesday. So I know it's been about a week and a half since we've been live, but overall, I think it's been a really, really busy week and a half. And, hey, we've been on vacation. We've been doing a little fun.
Yeah.
Went down to see Churchill Downs last weekend. We had a lot of fun. So, TJ Wilkins there. Hey, fellas, are you guys going to the Worlds in a couple weeks to see the Respondo guys go live down there?
I would love
We'd love to. Yeah. So
that'd be really cool.
Yeah, so Donnie, it's been great, and I know we have a lot of softball news we wanted to share tonight in our quick little weekly recap. I know we're going to try to stay under 30 to 40 minutes tonight, so why don't we get into it, and why don't we get right into the this past weekend we had some tournaments in the Dells. We had some tournaments up on the north side with the first responders. So why don't we talk a little bit about those winners?
So in the Dells tournament over the weekend, a team named Titty Attention, which is a lot of the Iron guys, won the Dells tournament. I believe there was 5 teams out there this year playing in that. I got to give a huge shout out to Sam Rogers and the gang, as they wore the Papa Magoo shirts with the Uncle Jimmy, Cousin Donnie sponsorship on the back. Next year, I will be playing for that team with those jerseys. Jimmy, I'm sure you will as well. I think you and I have to be on that team.
Yeah. Those jerseys were awesome. I don't know if you've seen them. And
they're so cool. They're so nice.
I should have uploaded a jersey because I know Sam Rogers sent it to me. I should have uploaded it for everyone to see it.
I know.
They are super nice.
Yeah.
But
on the first,
they did not do so well.
Yeah. Softball for that tournament for them was probably come second. They want to, be social and drink and hang out, and that came first for them. So no big deal, Yeah. It's all right. Illinois beat Iowa in a gold scramble. I heard glad Illinois can win one this year. We're talking about a golf scramble, I believe. There we go. That was the Iron Boys played the Iowa guys in golf. So shout out to those guys for bringing home another victory that weekend. The first responders tournament was awesome. That event was run really well by Iggy, Frank Jekyll. Huge shout out to those guys. And then Iggy's team, the Lips, ended up winning. I believe they beat the Dirty 38s in the championship game to win that. So awesome tournament, ton of fun out there. Weather was hot as heck. Had a blast. I played with a team called Juice with my guy Brian Sloan and Nicky Casano put that together. That was cool. So that was a fun weekend. It was nice 1-day tournament. Got to be with the family and the other days, so it was a good time. My monkey doesn't stink said, "What's popping, gentlemen?"
Yeah. So the other thing I wanted to add to that is I wanted to apologize to Frank. Our show that we did last week, prior or before the actual tournament, we did not bring that up on our show. So I don't know if Donnie, if you saw our post.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
We went on and apologized to Frank and those guys because, we just missed it, unfortunately, and. It happens. We're human. 2 good-looking guys that just unfortunately didn't have the information ready for us. So, and that's okay. So we made up for it. I know they had an incredible weekend. Lips ended up winning the tournament. So, so they fixed it so that their own team could win the tournament. Right? That's what they did.
Yeah, Jekyll played with Marty Dozen and Lane and those guys on their team. They drew the 38s and that 100 proof, which is Nate Mercado's team. So two tough games for Jekyll in his own tournament. So he could have rigged it a little bit better. But Iggy did end up winning his division and his tournament. So
let me give a shout out really quick. We got Sean Keene, welcome, Jeff Otto, Brian Sloan. I'm sure we'll have a little talk about him tonight.
He was looking forward to it. Yeah.
Our boy Brad, Steve Burke, Brian Sherwood, Dave Bradford, Little Dave, the best looking white guy in softball, and our boy Justin. So Welcome to the Uncle Jimmy and Cousin Donnie show. We got Brad viewing from the field. I love to see that. That's awesome. So, Donnie, why don't we
Yeah.
get into what your next update was? I know you had some other winners throughout the week. So,
I was going to mention Fafo. I was going to mention you. You won at I believe that's Oak Lawn, correct? The Oak Lawn. Is that the A League over there?
yeah, we won. I don't know what they call it, B League, A League, whatever it is. I think it's their best league that they run in the fall. And that fall league is already over.
Yeah.
Not even October 1st, and the league's over. So,
That's bad.
awesome. They could probably play a whole nother league before November 1st. But it was great. And we were able to get the league in, get it done, get it over with before the cold came. So, what's going on with Harrison, by the way? I want to let's get an Harrison update.
Harrison Park.
Update. Where's
Harrison
the
Park? Sweet. Harrison Park, there's only 1 week of regular season, and then playoffs will be the week after. So 2 or 3 weeks left in Harrison Park, and then we've got Genera Park, where you and I play against each other on Wednesday next week.
Yes,
so that'll be entertaining. We play against each other. Our team, All Gravy, run by Joel, who runs Meatball City, is off to a 5-0 start because we have a very good team.
and Birdman Inc., the team
Yeah.
I played for,
Yeah.
who our leader has not showed up yet to a single game, the Bird.
Birdman hasn't been at one game.
He hasn't been out to one game. So I know a lot of people in softball don't know who the Birdman is, but you'll definitely hear him when he shows up to the park. I promise you that.
Will he be there Wednesday when we play each other?
I highly doubt it. The over-under is a half for him to show up to one game.
That's bad. Hi, Curtis. Curtis is an All Gravy member. Luke Gimler says Rand Park Tuesday nights is a great league. I've never played out over there in Des Plaines. I'm not sure if you have. Bryce, great.
If we
great
could,
comment.
we're going to ask some of the guests to put in the comments some of the park leagues that are going right now for the fall. Let's mention them. Let's talk about them. But go ahead, Donnie.
Great comment from Bryce. I don't know if I've ever told you, but you have great hair. I'm kind of auto jealous of any hair, but man, I'm not gay. Just saying. Hey, Bryce, $20 is $20. That's all I'm saying. Roberto says, Donnie, we'd love to have you at Randa. Come on out there. I would love to. You text me when you need a guy. I'll be there. I love playing. So, Jimmy, what other updates you got for me from the week before we get into our next week?
Yeah, no. The only other update, we had a Stretch sighting last night. Stretch came out and played last night in the Oak Lawn League on our team. So it's always good seeing my nephew Stretch. He's back on steroids. I think he's going to try out for Resmondo next year.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Would you consider Resmondo players 16-inch major players? So say they want to play.
You almost have to, don't you think?
Say like you get guys that are interested in, for some reason, want to play Papa Hops. Would they be considered a major player?
Yes, because they play major nationals. Because it goes from Forest Park to Forest Park.
Forest Park.
Their calendar year is Forest Park to Forest Park.
Okay. So any Resmondo guy would be major.
I would say yes.
I would love to hear people's opinion on that too, because they only played one tournament, and that's the first time they ever played. Now they are professional softball players. I would also probably say they're major because of the talent level that they carry is probably higher than most A players, higher than the B players. And that's not a knock on those guys. It's just that those guys are legitimate freak human beings. That's just something I thought about. That'd be something I thought about.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a good question. I think, for the fans out there, but I got to think it's going to be 100% yes. But then again, none of those guys have ever played without a glove. And that would be definitely difficult for them in some passion, some points of the game. So, but good luck fielding one of the balls they hit. That's all I'm going to say.
Sounds awful.
So Donnie, why don't we get into I know what was the next topic? We had some topics that we wanted to chat about before we get to Rumor Mill. What were some of the other topics we wanted to discuss tonight?
This weekend, we have the co-ed nationals. Chris Harris hit me up and said, got to mention it. Ton of major players playing in co-ed nationals. I believe that's tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. I won't be out there, Jimmy. I don't know if you're going to be out there. But that's a pretty cool tournament. I know there's a lot of people that get out there and play. So, Chris
Yep.
Harris, if you're watching, if you want to put some details in the chat about your tournament or the tournament you'll be a part of, let me know tomorrow kind of what that looks like.
And I did see that there's going to be a new winner this year of that tournament because Slap and Tickle did not enter. I know a lot of those guys went down to San Diego this weekend. There's a big major tournament tomorrow. Well, I think they only have 7 or 10 teams in San Diego. But either way, they're going to be down there playing tomorrow, one-day tournament, which is awesome to see, right? Ended on Saturday. Always a great thing. Enjoy your Sundays off. I love it. So, good thing. But, Donnie, you'll get a lot of Sundays off next year, won't you?
I plan on having every Sunday booked solid for the entire summer.
With your wife?
Yeah, with my fiance, yeah, for sure. Or if Signature makes it to Sunday, which I imagine we do. If that's how the tournament structure goes, right, Jim? That's what we're talking about.
Well, we know that's how it's going to go because there ain't going to be any changes. You know that.
Exactly.
Nothing ever changes. Nothing ever changes in softball as we continue to lose major team after major team every single year. It's amazing how that works, isn't it? But let's say hello to Jackie, Jack, Chris Rieger, Eric Sunday, Jim Schumacher, Drew. Welcome, guys, to the Uncle Jimmy and Cousin Donnie show. Tonight was just really a check-in show for us, Donnie. Weekly recap. We've had a lot of news, a lot of information, and I know we're going to go through, in our eyes, kind of the top 20 teams that we have written down, not in any order, just kind of go through team by team on so far a weekly update or a rumor mill and kind of what those teams are currently doing in the free agent market. So I think it's going to be an interesting one. So, I mean, is there anything else you want to discuss? Because before, I guess I could bring up what I'm going to do in the Dome. Why don't we talk about that?
I was going to say, bring up the event you want to do in the Dome. A lot of the questions I have for you, Jim, involve rumor mill.
Okay.
One very specific one. Please go on with your overnight turn.
Yeah. So thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. Handsome as ever. Thank you so much, my man.
Thank you, Steve. We love you.
Welcome.
We love you.
Steve John to the show. We love Steve. So, so what I wanted to talk about is that I'm not sure what weekend in December, but it's going to obviously be before Christmas. I am going to have a draft tournament in the Dome. It's going to be a Friday night tournament. Yes, the bar is open. Yes, I'll have video slot machines. Yes, I have dartboards. Yes, I have pool tables. As you saw today, the bar is really starting to fill in, Donnie.
It looks
more and more stuff coming in. I'm gonna have bubble hockey here very soon too. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to do a draft tournament. I'm gonna have players, and I hope we can get to 85 to 90 players to sign up, and we're gonna have a draft tournament where we're gonna spin the wheel, and we're just gonna go right down the line. So I'm hoping to do it on a Friday night, whether it be the second or third Friday night in December, right before the holidays, and we're gonna call it our Christmas softball tournament, and it's gonna give a chance for a lot of B&A and major guys to kind of combine like we always talk about. This idea really came from Pops. Pops was, somebody that reached out to me, I don't know, a handful of months ago, brought this idea up, talked about the idea. I think it's a cool idea. And I know he's going to plan on doing something outside, I believe, very similar. I know they do the same thing for the Thanksgiving tournament. But I just think that this gives an opportunity we could throw 8 teams together. We can have a fun Friday night. We'll start it at 7:00 and we'll run it until there's a winner at the end of the night. The bar will stay open the whole time. If God forbid people get too drunk, I could send people home in Ubers. Not a problem whatsoever. So I think it's an awesome way to go about it. And I think we're going to charge every player probably, I think $10 or $15 to play in it.
Yep.
That'll cover the umpires, and it'll cover basically the prize money that goes back. So I'm not going to take a single penny out for the facility that night. and we're going to donate it all back to the prize money or donate it to a charity, as kind of what Al Mag just said, something like raise toys for
Yeah.
kids. We're going to do something along those lines, which I think it'll be really cool. And Luke, I will definitely get the sign up out there. It's going to be coming here in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to create a link, and we'll probably use the Papa Magoo's website, Donnie,
Cool.
where people can go on the Papa Magoo's website, sign up, pay the $15, and then kind of go from there with how we're going to go about raising money for a charity, or just about in general about just having a fun night. And I think it's cool, right? Don't you think it'd be awesome that
Definitely.
some of
I
those
think,
BA guys get to play with some of the major guys, and hopefully
yeah.
we get a lot of major support, which I think
Yeah.
will be cool. I know a lot of the B and the A players are going to be interested in doing it.
Stephen John says, bring the ante up to $25 a player. I like the way you think. Chris Rieger made a great comment. First Friday in since the Obama administration. And I get cousin Donnie and Uncle Jimmy. What a great Friday. Chris Rieger, I didn't get a chance to see you out there on Saturday playing with Whale. I unfortunately heard the team went 0-2, which is a bummer for Whale, as I know that's kind of your hood. Hiawatha is where Chris Rieger was born and raised. So for Rieger to go 0-2 is bad on him. But that's okay. You bounce back. But yeah, it would be cool to raise some money for that tournament. $25 a guy. I don't think anyone will have a problem. $10 a guy, 15, whatever it is, right? And whatever it goes to a good cause. And honestly, like you said, I think it's a really cool opportunity for some of the B guys, A guys, to play with people they see in No Glove Nationals, and people that, it's a really cool opportunity for guys to learn from some people. Raise some money for mics and lighting. There you go.
Well, I mean,
Oh, Chris wasn't on the team. I didn't know that Rieger didn't play with Whale. Now that's controversy. That's what we need on the Uncle Jimmy Cousin Donnie show, is tension. That's what we want.
So I want to comment to my monkey doesn't stink. He says raise money for mics and lighting. We are definitely doing that. Obviously, Donnie, you do it on your phone. I do it on my computer for right now for the show. But of course, we are going to be looking into mics. We're going to be looking into a lot of cool stuff this off season. We have to still discuss if we're going to go to the Hall of Fame and what we're going to do at Hall of Fame. So you and I are going to reach out to Paul Rowan on Monday to see what that looks like. And our goal is to get out there and interview all the members of the Hall of Fame on that special night. So we'll try to get every one of them. And I'm sure there's a select few that probably won't come on our show. But either way, I think it'll be an awesome night for us to get out and show the support for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I agree. Really cool idea. And I'm happy that they, reached out and want us to be a part of it. That's pretty cool, pretty special. And you remember we had a lot of the guys who, are getting into the Hall of Fame on our show. That one time we had like 6 people on the show at one time. Everyone got their chance to talk about the Hall of Fame. So kind of bringing it back full circle with the guys that did get in. Chris Rieger's headed to Rack City. We'll put that in the rumor mill for tonight for sure. But I didn't know that there was tension in the Whale locker room there. That's good for me to see.
Yes. And so why don't we get into rumor mill?
Go ahead.
And why don't we get into the teams? And I'm going to start with Iowa, because there's only a select few teams in Iowa. I saw our boy Matt Mackey, who just jumped on. So welcome, Matt Mackey.
I'm a fan of Matt.
Yeah, he hits the ball pretty good, I would say.
Yeah, he's all right. Yeah.
About as far as you, Donnie, right?
I'll get there.
Yeah. So let's start with the fat kids. So what I'm hearing, the fat kids, I've heard Pops' name thrown around, which is now not going to happen. Okay. I also heard that they've got some other Park League guys that might be joining the roster on a more of a full-time basis. So that's what I've heard about the fat kids. I know they're also going to have to make the jump up to major now after winning the A National, correct?
Yep. They're probably going to play Forest Park major, yeah.
What do you think is up the sleeve of Angelo? I know Bruce is going to be probably back full-time.
Yeah. Fat Kids never fails to get new guys, and I think if they're going to go to the major level there, they're going to be competitive. I think 100%. That's going to be a good team next year, and they'll definitely give fits to some of the major teams. And Fat Kids made it to Sunday at No Glove Nationals. I think you guys actually knocked them out a little bit later on Sunday. I think actually Sunday afternoon, right before we played each other, you beat Fat Kids to go into that game.
Yeah.
But a good team, a good kind of hungry team. I know we had Chulo on the show not too long ago, who's a member of that team. They're only going to get better, truly. But I'm hearing some stuff about that team. We did hear Pops is going there, but to discredit that, I guess he's not moving now.
Yeah.
That we brought his name up on the show.
So let's get on to the next team. That's Whale. Our boy Jackson Perry. We just heard that Rieger's leaving and going to Rack City. So Rack City was a team 5 years ago, which is no longer, right? So, but with Whale, I did hear a name going to Whale.
What do you got? Jack
Doss, possibly.
Did you hear that one? I actually have Jack Doss in my notes for a different team.
Yeah, I heard Jack Doss was kind of there's a tiny little chance that Jack Doss can go to Whale.
Okay, so Jackson, do you want to confirm this? We'd love to see confirmation from Jack or Rieger in the chat for any Whale rumors floating around.
I heard his name was brought up. I'm not saying that it was going to happen. I just heard his name was brought up with possibility of going to Whale. Have you heard anything else about the Whale boys?
I know Mikey Crawford from Impact potentially headed over to Whale. I think we may have mentioned that, but a nice outfielder addition for them. If that ends up being solidified, that would be a nice pickup for Whale. But they already have a good outfield with Lenti and the Barzowskis. So adding Crawford brings them stronger,
Moving on to the Demons. I heard now the Demons are not going to have a team. They forfeited out of the Major National. I don't know if you heard the story about the Demons, but they actually switched the game on Friday night to Saturday so Dynasty could make it, and then they didn't show up. So
I did not know that.
Yeah. So the Dynasty could not make the game Friday. The Demons had their whole team. They moved it to Saturday morning, and the Demons forfeited.
Yeah, they didn't show up. Oh, that's a bummer. I think Little B, Brandon Alvarado, might be on his way to a different team.
Yes. I heard he's been shopping his name around.
Could be.
He did. I think he was looking around a couple different teams. I heard his name come through the Hex rumor mill as well. So
he's played for Hex before, so no new territory for him.
Right.
But maybe a Meatball City landing spot for little Brandon Alvarado.
Very possible. So Splash, I heard Splash and Marky Robinson. He's been very quiet about his pickups.
There's not much quiet about Marky Robinson.
No. But I did hear one guy's on the move from his team, possibility, and that could be Brett, my nephew Brett, possibly going to Iron.
Cousin Brett.
Splash. I do know that Splash basically is looking to pick up about a bunch of the younger guys from around the neighborhood. So not many well-known names, but definitely a younger team and some athletes is from what I've been told. So what do you got with Impact?
I haven't heard anything other than Mikey Crawford heading out. I haven't heard anything. Anthony Lopez hasn't told me anything. He's my inside source. Cody Niedenbach, haven't heard anything from him.
Right.
Chris Rieger said no to Doss, by the way. So Jack Doss not headed to Whale. Nothing from Impact.
What about March Impact? Since they're called March, right? So
Jack Harrigan headed to potentially play with March. So I think that's a nice pickup for those guys. I know he's a young stud infielder if he shows up on time.
Yeah, I mean, March picked up 4 guys last year from Hex.
Yep.
Definitely improved that team tremendously, right? So the pitcher as well that came over, I believe, from
Paulie Palkey.
Yeah. So, they had a nice little year. Definitely improved that team tremendously, and I could look to see that team to be a top 5 team for next year. On to High Y. The name with High Y, Trav, was the only name I've heard on the move. I heard that High Y is sticking together. What else have you heard about High Y?
Nothing really. I haven't heard any movement for High Y in terms of people leaving or coming in, to be honest. They've been pretty quiet. I asked Trey because he was mad that we said he was leaving on our show. So he was mad at me, but it's whatever. It's rumor mill for a reason. These aren't truth.
I mean,
I haven't heard a ton about High Y.
I'm not going to lose sleep on it.
Good.
But
We don't watch you here.
I did hear about BTA. BTA is definitely sticking together.
Oh,
I did
Julian.
hear that, and I heard that's our big boy Skeet possibly might be running BTA, which is interesting. Now I could have the team split, but I heard it was BTA from the source that I was told, and that was one of the reasons why Little B and West were going to stay. So
Okay.
hopefully that's true. God knows what's true, what's not, right? But that's what I've been hearing going on. What about Goodwood? Have you heard anything with the Goodwood boys?
Young, talented team. Only going to get better if they stay together. Haven't heard any rumors about Goodwood at all. Maybe Hector, the pitcher, making a change, but I haven't heard anything other than that. I know Goodwood's probably going to stick together. They're only going to get better. I hope they do stick together.
Right. So I haven't heard much about Goodwood. So let's move on to Iron. I have heard Iron's name in a couple different players.
Yep.
I did hear Jason Rojas, but then Jason confirmed with me he wasn't looking to probably go to Iron. And then I heard Iron's in the with them losing Lane, they're probably going to be in the market for an extra hitter or a catcher, my guess. And so I heard my nephew Brett's name. I've also heard a couple other names. So Iron definitely looking. What do you got for Iron?
Marco Macias. I think Marco Macias heads to Iron to play with them full time next year.
Yep, he's going to be playing short center. That is correct. So,
oh, that's a cool one for Whale. Just put it in the chat. Jackson said they will be playing in the Monday, Wednesday Forest Park League.
So they're going to take a step up in class.
Yeah, that's good.
Move, and that's how they get better. So nice work, Jackson. And they're going to compete. We know that they're going to definitely compete in the league, and 100%. I think it'll be a nice move for them. So next team on the list here, I heard Menace. Menace being out there. I know that Matt Scott and some of the boys from Menace were kind of looking, from my understanding, to add to that team.
Yeah.
I haven't heard not many notable names, but mostly some of the younger kids from around the neighborhood and things like that. So, Menace usually always puts together a pretty competitive team. Maybe they'll pick up some of the guys from Demons if that falls through, because those two have always been kind of one over the years. So maybe we'll see if they're able to put a more competitive team together, which would be awesome. Next on the list is Sauce. And I know our chat is lighting up about Hex right now, right?
I can't wait to talk about this.
Yeah, so I don't know I think now's a good time, right? So we have a lot of other major teams still left, but Sauce, as you guys have heard, I believe 5 of the Sauce players has went over the Hex. Brian Sloan, help me with some of the names. I know Tyler Spears was and then left. Sullivan.
We got Brian Sloan is headed over. We got Nick Casano is headed over.
Who's supposed to be a stud, right? Nick's a very good player.
Nick's a stud. Absolutely. Yeah. He was on our juice team. He was 10 for 10, didn't make it out, played good left field. Donnie, Mikey, and then Rory. So they've got 5 guys for Hex. So Sauce, Hex, merge. And that's a nice merge. I mean, that team could be really good, really competitive team. It is a bummer to see Sauce no longer out there as a team, I will say. That sucks to have a team lost, but to make another major team better, right? So you kind of give and you take there. So good to see Brian Sloan doing his best interest for his guys that are dedicated to his team. Sean Temple, hello, Sean Temple. Good to see you, handsome guy, shortstop. Love to see him make a couple more plays in the infield. He said Casano will die on a softball field if he has to.
Casano, from my understanding, is a really nice player.
Baller.
Obviously, Brian Sloan's going to go ahead and take over the pitching for Hex. And I believe they also picked up Joey Carbs. So Joey Carbs also be a backup pitcher for Hex. Correct. So Hex looking to make some moves. Our boy Kurt has decided to stay with Hex. So they're pretty much having their whole team, and that's a good thing, right? So
I'm happy for them. Those guys want to play major softball. This is their opportunity to do it. And Sloan loves softball. I mean, that guy will die out there keeping
Well,
stats.
I
He
talked
loves.
to Richie. I talked to Richie quite a bit, as you can imagine. And so Richie, after we've had our discussions, he wanted to get guys that are committed that are going to show up to the field. And from my
Yeah.
understanding, those 4 or 5 guys are going to definitely show up. So,
Yep.
and
Yep.
Steve John's asking if I'm staying with Hex.
Well,
So I guess I am not staying with Hex. So that is the news that came out earlier this week. I am going to be leaving the Hex team. Not leaving in a bad way whatsoever. A lot of awesome guys on the Hex team. Get along with them, as you mentioned earlier in the show, Donnie. A couple of them even work for me at the bar. But I am not going to be playing on Hex next season, and so I have committed to the 45s, and I'm going to be going to the 45s, and we'll see what we can do next season. So
that's
could be a run.
directly from the source. A lot of our rumors end up being horribly untrue. This one is right from the the mouth of the Moretti himself. This is unbelievable. Congrats on that, on going to a new squad after all the years with Hex, and you wanted to didn't break any bridges with the Hex guys. Still friends with everybody, but man, pretty darn cool. And Chucky says, can't wait to play defense behind the best looking pitcher in the league. Of course, referring to Israel Sanchez. He's talking about there.
Yes, he is. So, and I'm fine with that. Like I said, man, it was. I talked to a handful of teams. I felt it was time to make a change for myself, and I think that hopefully I made the right decision. And if not, that's okay. I'm going to live with it. But at the same time, I'm going to have a blast doing it. As you know, Donnie, as you get up in age, you look for certain things when you show up to the field, and you'll be there one day, right?
Yeah.
Father time gets you in the long run. And I figured, hey, before my 6-year-old starts playing really competitive baseball, I've got maybe 3-4 years, maybe 2-3 years, whatever it is left to be fully committed to what this game brings you. And so I decided to make the move to the 45s. I know Izzy and Nate and I, we had our conversations, and, as I told them, I'm going there to just basically whatever they asked me to do to win. And that's really what it comes down to. So
that's great, man. Like I said, happy for you. Pumped for your next season. I think it's surprising news for everybody in the chat right now that didn't know about this. Tim Dalton says you should have held out for more money from the 45s. A little contract negotiation. I know I know we're skipping ahead a little bit, but you've got Mikey Marola headed there too. I know we didn't mention that. Yeah. Last week we didn't know about that until after the show, but Mikey Marola will go there as well. So 45s picking up a couple new guys for the upcoming season.
So, absolutely. And those are the 2 that are confirmed, and I'm sure there's going to be more on the way. We'll see what happens, right? So it's always a good thing. But we just knocked out Sauce, Hex, and 45s there.
I know.
Crazy, huh?
Yeah. Who else do you? What's the next team?
Next team is Moneyline. So Moneyline is, as I heard, not from. Almost knocked over my computer. Not from Matty Doze or anybody, but I heard that they're a little bit of J-Rob.
And then Jack comments right away.
Yeah. So what I was getting with Moneyline, I heard that the good program guys, there's a select few of them that had stepped away. They did pick up Rob Grisano. So I believe they're at 6 or 7 players, and I know Maddie has some things on the move for sure. I don't know what guys he's going after, but from my understanding, I believe Matt Martin left. I believe Eric left. The shortstop, what was his name?
Jason Gannick.
I don't know. I don't know if he was one of the guys that were stepping away. I know it was that the backup pitcher they used to throw in every now and then he played.
Kyle Engels,
Yes, I know Nick is staying.
Nick
I
Stan,
haven't.
Ryan Grable
I'm
Stan.
assuming Drew's gonna stay. I'm assuming little Marty's gonna stay now with the whole team thing falling through. I believe, right? I believe
Not sure.
yeah. A lot of movement on money line. I know the Davis
I've got,
brothers are in.
I've got two things for Moneyline as well. Our guy Ian from Meatball City, Ian Holst, maybe headed to play with Moneyline next year. And then Kevin Knorr is on his way out from Moneyline. Kevin Knorr said, rumor mill out of Moneyline. He said he might be headed to play with Flash.
Yep. So that's what I hear. I heard that as well. Not sure what his role is going to be on Flash, but I know they're always looking for guys, so that's a good thing. Meatball City.
Yep. They picked up Ryan Cutt, who
Yep.
played a little baseball in college, played with Primetime last year. Really, really good player. That's a nice pickup for Meatball City. I know they're trying to get a couple other guys and keep that thing going. So I hope for the best for those guys for sure, because Joel's trying really hard.
Yeah, yeah. I know he reached out to a handful of people. Huh?
You.
Yeah, he did, and he reached out to a couple other people. I wish him the best. Joel's a great dude, right? So met with a lot of teams, got a lot of inside information. Once I decided to leave Hex, I know the word got out quickly, so it was nice to meet with some of the teams, talk softball a little bit, and just kind of where their heads at for next season. So, so hopefully Meatball's going to be able to do something good. I know they have the Wiz brothers. I know they're going to have a nice team. They always do. JD, I believe they're going to hand over the pitching to JD, correct?
Yeah, JD looks like he's going to be the number one on that team for pitching. He's got to fill second base. He's got to fill one more infielder and maybe one or two more outfielders, and they'll be fine.
Yep.
Joel, Mark Manizzi comments he keeps bringing Reese's to Genera because Joel writes a number on a Reese's cup, and that's what order you hit in the lineup. So if you pull 8, you bat 8. If you pull 5, that's when you hit, which is pretty cool. It's different. Like last week, Spencer Mahoney batted 8th for us, and Pops batted 3rd. So that should tell you things you need to know.
Pops probably would have told you should have hit 3rd though.
Yeah, he mentioned that. Yeah, but he did hit good. He did good.
We love Pops, right? So Dynasty, next team on the list. I heard Dynasty staying together.
I love
it.
You
don't hear much out of them because they don't
No.
really make decisions till April. So once the leagues are already started, that's when they make a decision whether they're staying or not. So
right. Yeah, I agree. Dynasty, haven't heard anything out of.
Circus.
Yeah.
Circus next on the list. I do know. Congratulations to Joey, as I call him, Hot Dog Joey. He got married over the weekend.
Yeah.
I think it was last weekend. So congratulations to him and his wife. I heard he is coming back to Circus. I did hear Joe Caputo possibly leaving Circus.
Interesting.
Possibly not playing softball next season. And I do know that they're potentially in the Keenan Connolly stakes as well for having a shortstop. So
yeah,
we'll see where that turns out. We'll see where that goes. I think obviously Circus, as we always say, is one of the best teams on paper, no doubt about it. So
Jack Doss, Jack Doss, I heard Circus to go play with his dad coaching.
As a utility guy, a little bit. So that's definitely something that's out there. Next on the list is your team, Signature.
Our team?
Since you can't speak about Signature, and you and Mr. Beethoven and Sal, it's as I call him, Beethoven, not Beethoven.
He's gonna be so mad at you for that.
That's fine. And our boy Sal and Mr. Menendez. I know you guys are high on the list in the Keenan sweepstakes as well. So I did hear that you guys are possibly picking up another outfielder. I know that you're trying to move the center field with your new speed that you found,
Correct.
but
Correct. That is the goal.
that's not going to happen.
Correct.
So, but if you do get Keenan, you guys are going to have some dilemmas there, because what are you going to do with Scar? What are you going to do with the MVP of the tournament that you guys won last year?
You talking about my guy Danny Marston? We just cut him. We're just going to cut Danny. Not that important. He'll find another place to play. It'll be real simple.
Field,
We don't know. We don't know. We have a problem where we're going to have too many good players on the team, excluding myself. But yeah, it's going to be a fun year. Hopefully we land. Hopefully we land Keenan. Everybody's trying to get him. It's not a secret. Everybody's trying to get that guy. He's a stud, and I can't wait to talk to him next week. So, but man, pumped about this offseason and kind of our approach to it. So we shall see what happens.
We have a couple more teams. Well, I guess we've already talked about Hex.
Yeah.
We already talked about, obviously, the 45s. The next team is Flash on the list. Flash, my understanding, and of course this is all just total rumor, but my understanding, Julian Gutierrez is going back to Flash now. He is not leaving Flash. He's going to be staying with Flash. You mentioned Kevin Knorr. I've also heard that Steph McLaren's leaving Flash. And I also heard Zoe is leaving Flash.
Oh, where's Zoe going?
I don't know. Great question, but that was the latest of what I heard. It was definitely, something that I think is on the fence. We'll see if that's true or not over the course of the next couple of weeks. I do know Mikey Myers coming back, and the rest of the crew is coming back for sure. Obviously, PJ Reigns going to Flash. Yep. We all know that. So Flash having some nice pickups if Nora and PJ Reigns do go there. Good possibility for them to add more depth and a team that's already won and coming off of back-to-back Forest Park championships.
I mean, just to add more youth to that team is insane with PJ and a kid that could be there for the next 10 years manning the outfield. So, any other rumors I've got? I don't think I have anything else.
Well, I do have one last thing. Tonight we were trying to get our boy Staples on the show. Staples declined, and we weren't sure why he declined. We're like, why is Staples? Why is he declining the Uncle Jimmy and Cousin Donnie show? I don't understand it.
Jimmy,
we made a celebrity. Well, then all of a sudden I checked online and I saw this picture, and now I know why.
We made him a celebrity.
And Staples is actually hanging out with the villain, our boy. And then all of a sudden I look on the Megatron and I see our boy Staples with the villain. And I couldn't believe my eyes. I could not believe my eyes. They were on the kiss cam together. And so our boy Staples declined us for the villain, which I understand. The villain's our guy, right? So what can we say?
Correct.
But
the villain, we love him now. I'm team villain. I love it. Staples, he called you and said, I can't tonight. I'm busy. And you said, what the F could you possibly be doing tonight? But that's it. That's all we got.
That's all we got. But with Staples, it's just funny that he's with the villain. You know what I mean? The villain hasn't taken off the Team Jagoff hat since I've given it to him, which is fantastic.
He did wear it.
He loves it. So good for him. But Donnie, awesome quick show. Check in, recap of all the teams. If we missed the team, we're sorry, but I think we hit a lot of them on the head.
Tuesday. Big show Tuesday next week at 9 o'clock. Yeah.
If our boy Keenan agrees, we're going to put 3 hats in front of him for Tuesday's show. And he's going to pick what team he's going to attend play for next season. What do you think?
That'd be incredible. Good idea? There would be some people on the edge of their seats. And 2 of them are right in front of you. So that would be, I would like to put like 10 hats in front of him. I think that would be even funnier, but it would be tough to get him that many hats. But that's going to be really cool. Excited to talk to Keenan.
Yep. So thank you guys all for tuning in for the Uncle Jimmy and Cousin Donnie show.
We talked about
appreciate
Goodwood.
it.
I want to say, Steve, we did mention Goodwood.
We did mention Goodwood. Not a lot going on with Goodwood, right? So, but either way, thank you guys for joining. We appreciate it. Donnie, anything last comments you want to say before we hop off the air?
The Knicks just traded for Karl Anthony Towns.
Interesting.